Hello everyone, welcome to episode 19 of this series. In the last episode, we made a... well, in the last two episodes actually, we've done a few little odds and ends around the house, but last episode specifically, we got some pets, and we did a bit more general detailing. Not so much in here, it's more so around the other areas if I remember correctly. I've also done a fair bit off screen, and I'm going to walk through that now. So, first of all, if you did see the last episode, something big is missing. I moved it because I didn't like that it was blocking the house from the little riverway up. So I've moved it over there, and I've also put a bit more detail into it. And it is actually working pretty well. It's not at the level that we need it to be for the fuel, but it's still a good amount. So it's a good little backup of sorts. I also I did mention that I was going to be shifting around the way the honey farm works. However, it still technically works. It's just that sometimes the bottles get a little bit thrown about and we do lose a few. But I'm not overly fussed about that, and if I was going to change it, it would make it it would really like I would need to push walls out a bit to get a proper one in here. So I'm quite fine with just losing a few bottles here and there. So that's working. But in this episode, we are going to be making a proper super smelter and an automatic kelp farm that feeds into it. Where I'm putting the kelp farm, I'm not quite certain yet. I'm either going to put it like right under there, or I'm going to put it. You can't quite see it. Let's see if you can see it from up here. Or I'm going to go ahead and put it over and underneath that, because that still runs while I'm in the base. I haven't quite decided what, because one would require... Nah, it's smarter to put it in the base. It's less distance for the hoppers to travel. Okay. So first things first, we need to dig it out. So I'm going to bring you guys back once I've done that, and I will explain our next steps. Okay, so... I've just dug out this area in here. I've also put in the dirt that will turn into grass that we're going to plant the bamboo on, and I've started smelting some glass and some stone. What I'm now going to do is my plan is put stone brick walls around the up area, put the exact same roofing that we have over here, of that sort of mixed oak. Oh god, am I? Yeah, I am. The mixed dark oak and what is that? Spruce or dark oak? I think that might actually be dark oak logs. And I'm going to put that on the roof. And then I'm going to put... I haven't quite decided what block I'm going to have for the walls in here, but I will put a layer of glass on top. I have also got together all of the bamboo that I'm going to need, as well as all of the materials for the more redstone-y component of this machine. Because the way it's going to work is we are going to have the bamboo growing, we are going to have a hopper minecart running underneath, and what's going to happen is there is going to be a flying machine that runs across and back and forth, and when it contacts it's going to be set at this level, the flying machine's going to be at this level, and when it hits the bamboo, it's going to break it, it's going to fall, hopper minecart's going to pick it up. I'm going to have two of them, because we've got it by 10, so I can have one for each 5. And then I'm going to have them both swing themselves around to a double chest system in the back here, which will store a bunch of bamboo, which will then automatically distribute it into a super smelter system. I've never made something like this, so fingers crossed it works first try, but it probably won't. So what I'm going to do now is get on with that. So there'll probably be a short time lapse here. I say short, it might actually be rather long. There's going to be a time lapse here either way. And then I will bring you guys back once everything's in place and we can start work on the actual super smelter. In terms of the block palette, for this build, I decided on just going with stone bricks, dark oak planks. I did use deep slate for the little border floor, but then I also used some lime green stained glass for a glass floor so that we can actually see into the farm and watch the flying machine go along. I haven't variated it at the minute yet. I will variate it off camera at some point. I just sort of ran out of time and energy when recording this episode. But yeah, the variation will be the exact same as it is for the main basement rooms, with the ceiling being oak planks and spruce logs. Or specifically dark oak planks, sorry, and spruce logs, and the walls being stone bricks and mossy stone bricks. Now, something I should mention, I am still tweaking the farm a bit, though I seem to have got it mostly fixed. It's mostly just timings that I'm still figuring out, and once I'm certain that I've got them figured out, I will put a little segment in an upcoming episode, maybe 24 or 25, about just explaining what those changes are, why you want to make them, how you make them. But for now, everything's doing relatively okay. What I start doing now is I start digging down and I start digging out where the whole collection system for the farm is going to go, and that will work by having rows of minecart tracks with a hopper minecart on it, specifically splitting the floor into two sections of 5, 2 hopper minecarts, both running into unloaders. Now, we've made unloaders before, multiple times. It's the exact same thing we made for the smaller bamboo and sugarcane farms. It's a hopper with a rail on top, specifically a powered rail. You have a comparator facing away from the hopper. You have a block in front of said comparator with a redstone torch on the other side. You have a repeater on top of the building block that's in front of the comparator, running towards the hopper. You then have a building block on top of both the comparator and the redstone torch. That's your basic. It detects when the hopper's empty, it gives a signal, the powered rail's powered, the minecart goes on its way again. We do end up making another one, but I will mention that again when we make it. Now, something that I do end up doing is I end up putting in some specific service tunnels. I don't decorate them, nor do I decorate this area that much, because we're not going to be down there that much. There's really no point. But I do keep the service tunnels there, and I'm very glad I did, because they are very helpful when you have to make changes. But yeah, this was... I mean, so this is episode 19 right now. I didn't finish this. It took me 2 episodes. I don't do it 20 or 21. Those I dedicate to end stuff. But in 22, we managed to finish this. In this episode, with this time lapse, we get the majority of the redstone done. The only real bit of redstone that isn't done is the flying machine. And we do that in episode 22. But yeah, so we put in redstone torches so that we can keep the rails powered. It's better to put in the torches than the blocks. It's just far more efficient. Because otherwise you're wasting 8 redstone each time you place down a rail. well, each time you place down a few rails. One good thing about digging out literally everything down here, we have plenty of resources for any castles that we want to make. And I really want to make some castles. We won't be doing it for a little bit, because like I said, I want to, with a few other things I want to get done first so that we can properly get focused on building stuff. One of those, which I have started working on, is which you guys will see me working on that in episode 23, and that is a villager trading hall. Now, I did expect it to be like, oh, this is going to be a very easy, very nice one-episode task. Yeah, no. It's probably going to be 2 episodes just building it. Possibly 3. Definitely a 3rd episode getting all the villagers in. So, you know, as my habit goes, it's another overly complicated build, but I have faith that it will look quite nice. But after we've got the villager trading hall set up, we are going to drain the ocean monument, so that we can get a guardian farm set up there, an iron farm set up there. I think that's all the farms we immediately need. Maybe that should be all the farms that we need immediately. But if we ever want to set up any other farms, like, oh, I don't know, say we can set up a slime farm, we can set up an amethyst cluster farm, we have a close connection to the end portal, so we can easily set up an enderman farm near there in the end. We can put a nether portal there and put in a gold farm. We can, we can put a lot of stuff there. We could possibly put a tree farm there at some point, which would probably be a very smart move. A moss farm would also be a good idea. And again, we can have a nether portal that leads to a blaze farm, and a wither farm, we can build a load of farms there. But right now, the ones that we really need are a guardian farm for marine blocks and an iron farm, because we are running very low on iron. So I think getting the villager trading hall finished, that's first port of call. Then it will be raiding the ocean monument. Then it will be draining the ocean monument. Then it will be building the guardian farm. Then it will be building the iron farm. Then it will be prettying up the industrial district in general. After that, I'm not sure. But as you can see here, we've just put in the 2 unloading systems, and we are now hooking them up to a load of chests. As it currently stands, we haven't even come close to filling the first double chest, because everything is getting moved up to the smelter storage system. So suffice to say, even though it's a very good farm, there is plenty of overflow room, which is very good. something that was a little bit of a pain in the ass to sort out was this system, the loading system. Now, I am almost positive that you could have done it a different way, but I ended up doing it so that we have a comparator reading the hopper. It then runs into a block with a redstone torch, so when the hopper is full, the redstone torch is powered off, which keeps the redstone torch from sending a signal to a repeater that runs into a powered rail, specifically the one that minecart is on top of. I then have a detector rail somewhere along the track, which, when passed over, sends a pulse through a T flip-flop, which turns it into a consistent pulse, or a constant pulse, or whatever you want to call it, which then extends a sticky piston with a redstone block, which locks the hopper. This keeps it from taking in any more items, which means that it will accurately detect when the hopper is empty and then give the signal for the minecart to go on its way again, which is very, very good. And that is the part where the timing is still being worked on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now, for those of you unaware, the way a T flip-flop works is you have, as you can see here, you have 3 repeaters, a bit of redstone dust, and a redstone torch. It's essentially using the repeater locking mechanism, where if you have a repeater, a powered repeater, running into the side of an unpowered repeater, it will prevent the repeater from giving signal. And then you hook that up to a repeater clock, and as you can see, it will turn a single pulse into a constant signal. Very useful for if you want to turn button presses or detector rails into a constant output like a lever, which is just exactly what we've done here. I will say, this entire project was rather resource costly. Nope, that's wrong wording. I will say this project cost a fuck ton of resources. Multiple times I had to go away and go on mining trips purely for redstone and iron, also a bit of gold. It was ridiculous. So here we've started digging out where the smelter system is going to go. It takes me a minute to get it right, but eventually what you want to do, and you'll see me do, is you have not pistons, that's not quite right, furnaces sitting on top of hoppers. All of the hoppers run into each other and into a chest, which is your output chest. You have a string of hoppers along the back feeding into each furnace. That is how the fuel gets in. You then have a row of hoppers on top feeding into each furnace. That's how the stuff you want to smelt gets in. Then have a hopper minecart running down each end, constantly keeping both filled and equally distributing all of the items. Something that I've realized that I still need to do is I very much still need to name all of our pets, because we have another Enderman who's living with us. We have several cats and dogs, and a metric fuck ton of axolotls. I've got to find names for them. I'll do that in an episode or off camera at some point. But yes, so here we are digging up the track from down below, so that we can bring all of the bamboo that gets harvested, and we can bring it up to a separate storage system up at the smelter area. This uses a very similar, it's the exact same unloading system that we've used before. Comparator, torch, repeater, hopper with a powered rail on top. Very basic, but it works perfectly. Something that did take me a little bit to figure out was the loading systems. Now, all the ones you see online say, "Oh, put a piston so that it compares what's in the chest to a different chest." I mean, sure that works, but what happens if the items in the chest don't equal enough to output the signal necessary? Well, all of a sudden they're not getting smelted, and that's a big fucking issue. So I opted instead to simply use a detector rail and hook it up to some maxed out repeaters. So what it does is it essentially, when the minecart goes over the detector rail, it sends a signal through 20 fully pulled back high maximum setting tick whatever repeaters, which enables the minecart to pick up just under 2 stacks, I believe it is, of items, and then it will run back and forth distributing them into the smeltery system. And I do the exact same on the other side. Now, I think that that works perfectly well, and I'm quite content with it. No, actually, it's working fine. I'm not going to question it. I was going to say maybe I should turn it into a T flip-flop, like the one I've got downstairs, but it works fine, so we're leaving it alone. I'm done with that project. If it works fine, it works good enough. We're done. Yeah. Do the exact same on the other side. We also hook up the input chest to a secondary input storage chest, which the actual minecart gets access to via a hopper channel duct network, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we seriously need an iron farm purely for the amount of hoppers and stuff that we need to make. Okay, so it looks ugly as all hell, but we've got the super smelter system set up, as well as the storage system that's down here. We don't have the actual farm itself set up yet. Pain in the ass. We don't have the actual farm itself set up yet. We will be doing that, I think, episode 22 or 21, depending on how quickly we can get the we can clear the end. Mainly because I'm feeling a bit redstoned out and I really just want to go and fight the fucking dragon. But yeah, there is no doubt a far there is no doubt a far simpler way to do this. I just haven't thought of it, and my immediate thought was, fuck it, I don't want to dick around with pistons and bullshit like that. I'd rather just keep it going as normal. So, it works. I still need to do, again, I will pretty up a bunch. I'm going to pretty up this place. I'm going to pretty up this place. I'm not going to pretty up the down there. If I might be able to see it, like these walls, roof, and floor here, I'm going to pretty it up. If I'm never going to see it unless I go down looking for it, like the storage system down there, I'm leaving it alone. So yeah. This was a very build-heavy episode. As usual, I've started a complex plan. I'm not anywhere near done with it. We're about 50% of the way, truth be told. But I think that's where we're going to call it for episode 19. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you in the next episode where we will hopefully kill the dragon. Bye.